everyone, what's up and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little different than what I've posted more recently, and that is something that I'm calling makeup by numbers. So makeup by numbers is something that I kind of put together inspired by videos that I've seen on YouTube in the past where they pretty much let their followers choose their makeup look. However, I decided to do it a bit differently where I had my followers choose blindly to the products that I would end up using. So I pre-assigned products to each number, which ultimately would create a look for today's video. I hope that makes sense. If you don't follow me on Instagram but would like to participate in something like this in the future, or if you just like makeup related content and excessive cat posts, then feel free to follow me. Thank you to everyone who participated in helping me create this look, and if you're interested in seeing what I came up with, then keep on watching. I want to jump right into this because I feel naked without anything on my face. So for primer, it looks like option 1 was outvoted by 58% to 42%, and that was for the Hydro Grip Primer by Milk. So I've tried this primer a few times, and what I love most about this is how tacky it is. So it feels like your foundation is actually like gripping on to the primer. And I like to apply this all over my face and then just let that absorb. I'm going to move on to my eyebrows because this will not take that long. The eyebrow portion of this voting contest actually was a bit tied for a while, and then we finally had a tiebreaker at 54% to 46%, and that is to just apply brow gel. So that's what I'm going to do. I like to use the e.l.f. Clear Brow and Lash Mascara.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
Quick and easy. All right. And since the primer is absorbed by now, let's go ahead and jump into foundation. So for the foundation, it actually was a landslide win, and that was for option 2. So that was 67% to 33%. And that means I will be using my e.l.f. foundation. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I like mixing these two foundation colors together, which are light ivory and beige. So now that my foundation is fully blended in, I will now go in with my concealer, and it looks like this one actually won by a landslide as well. So 70% had chose option 2, whereas 30% chose option 1. And option 2 was pre-assigned to my Morphe concealer. I'm kind of nervous. I've only tried this a couple of times now, and usually it's only to prime my lids. So I really want to see how this performs on my face as opposed to just my eyelids. Blending that out using my Morphe M173. Alright, and I saved the under eye area for last since my under eyes crease very bad. This is another reason why I usually don't use concealer, but let's give it a try. And so far, it seems to be highlighting nicely. It has good coverage. The only thing I don't like is how heavy it feels. And as for powder, I also had a tie. However, we were finally able to break the tie, and unfortunately, it did not go that well as far as the results. So 53% voted for option 1 as compared to 47% voting for option 2. And that will be my Smashbox Halo Loose Setting Powder. So for me personally, the reason why I don't really favor this product is because it is not my shade at all. Although it says the shade is fair to light, it literally looks orange on me. So I will be using a powder brush for this. I feel if I use a sponge, it's gonna look really orange and just intensify the pigment in this powder. So picking up my Morphe JH03 brush, I will be using this to set this powder across my entire face. So I'm noticing that using a brush with this product and also not that much of this product, it's not too bad. I think I was just going a little heavier handed when I've tried this previously. And before moving on to the rest of my face, I quickly want to spray my powder just because it's feeling a little cakey and a little powdery at the moment. So for setting spray, I had 67% of my votes vote for option 2 as compared to 33% of the votes voting for option 1. So that means I will be using my Lancome Fix It Forget It setting spray. And when I've used this in the past, it's not really my favorite, but it's not the worst. It'll definitely just get the job done. So I'm gonna spritz this over my face for now and then follow through later on in the end of this look. And honestly, this worked great. I'm surprised why I haven't used it in the past more. I'm loving it so far. So thank you for voting for this one, even though you guys didn't know which one you were voting for. Finishing up the face, I will now be going in with my bronzer, and it looks like 60% chose for option 1, whereas 40% chose option 2, which means I will be trying out the Kylie bronzer. I had recently picked this up at Ulta. They were having like a big sale on it, and this in particular, I believe was on sale for like $8 or something, so why not? But this is the bronzer in the shade Tequila Tan. And I'm going to be using my favorite bronzing brush, which is the Morphe E4. So I'm in love with this bronzer, and I think that it is the perfect shade. It's going on very nicely. It's blending evenly. You don't need a lot. I'm honestly like tapping off in between each dip. Moving on to blush, I had 67% of voters choose for option 1 and 33% choosing option 2. And option 1 was for the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the shade Coral. And this is honestly one of my favorite blushes. It doesn't pick up too much product when you dip in. It's not too clown-like, like too pink. Especially for fair skin, I would definitely recommend this blush, and overall it's an affordable product. And I'll be using my Sigma F55 Small Duo Fiber Brush. I'm in love with this combination right now with the bronzer and the blush together. Honestly, before that sale ends at Ulta, I would definitely recommend picking this up if you get the chance to. I really want to do some highlighter, but unfortunately 55% of you voted for option 2, which was no highlighter. That is fine with me. Let's go ahead and move into the eyes because I'm so excited to do this eye look with you guys today. For the eyeshadow palette I will be using for my eyes, I had 54% of my voters choose option 2 as opposed to 46% choosing option 1, which means that I will be using my Morphe Oasis palette today. So let's get right into it. I'm starting with the color Take Me Back and applying this into my inner corners. And I completely forgot to tell you guys, so it looks like 82% of the voters chose option 2 as opposed to 18% choosing option 1 for the eyeshadow look, which was a bold, colorful cut crease. So let me just throw that in real quick before I continue. Now picking up the color Saltwater Dip on my M441 brush. So now that that shade is fully blended in, I'll be taking the color Snorkel Sesh on my E22 brush. I'm going to apply this into my crease, but not as high up as Saltwater Dip. And now to deepen this look up, I'll be taking Infinity Pool on my M433 brush and really bringing that shade into the outer corner. To cut my crease, I'll be going back in with my Morphe concealer with my M224 brush. And I'm going to do a half cut crease, so I'll be starting in the inner corner and bringing that concealer halfway across my lid. And then blending that out with the M173 brush. So to set my cut crease, I will be using 3 different colors. So for the inner portion, I will be using the color Island Hop. And I'll be spraying that with a little bit of the Lancome Fix It Forget It to really intensify the shimmer. I love this blue shade. It has a bit of green to it, and it's gonna work perfectly to highlight the inner corners. Cleaning off my brush, picking up the color Coastline Cruise and applying that to the center part of my cut crease. Now deepening up the outer portion of this half cut crease with the shade Reef Dive. I really wish I had my eyebrows done right now. Like, it's honestly bothering me because this is such a beautiful look, and then you just have my eyebrows. So let's go ahead and finish off the eyeshadow, and I'm going to be grabbing the color Infinity Pool on my Morphe M506 brush and applying it into the very outer corner of my eyes. And taking a little more of that color Infinity Pool just to slightly blend out the outer portion a little more. I still want to deepen up my outer corners a little more, so I'll be taking the color Secret Lagoon on my E36 brush and just applying that very slightly into the outer corner. And I definitely need like a bright inner corner highlight for this just to really pull it all together, because the matte white eyeshadow just isn't doing it enough for me. So taking Windsurf on my Sigma E46 brush and just slightly applying that into the inner corner. Okay, so I don't know if I'm the only one, but looking at this color, it reminds me of in that movie Aquamarine, like the streaks she gets into her hair. Comment below if you agree or if you remember that movie, because growing up, that was literally one of my favorite movies. Guys, I'm literally obsessed with this and I haven't even finished it yet. So let's go ahead and finish off this eyeshadow look. I will be taking the E36 brush and dipping into Infinity Pool again and lining my bottom lash line. And then taking the color Saltwater Dip and applying that on the inner portion of my bottom lash line. So I would typically go in with like a liner, but unfortunately there was no tiebreaker for the eyeliner. So looks like we will just go straight into lashes, which I am so excited for because it looks like 58% chose option 1 and 42% chose option 2, which means I get to try out the new lashes. These are the Baddie B lashes in the style Insta Baddie. These are a faux mink lash and they retailed for $16 at Walmart. I am so excited to try these out. Oh my god, I'm literally obsessed with this look. Like, I'm not even kidding you. This is giving me Aquamarine vibes like to the max right now. The fact that the no eyeliner was voted more, I wasn't really able to have something to pull it all together. So these lashes just really brought everything together and I'm obsessed right now, honestly. So the last step in this tutorial is going to be the lips. And for that, it looks like the option 2 won by a landslide of 67% as opposed to option 1 that got 33%. And that means I will be using a nude glossy lip for this. And I feel like honestly, it could work. So let's give it a try. The color that I picked is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Undressed Lip Gloss. I honestly love the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip glosses because of how pigmented and how lightweight they are. I actually really love this color with this look. I feel like a nude would have been the best option regardless for something like this, so I would have been scared if I got the other option, which was going to be a red lipstick. So I'm pleased with how this has turned out. Now I'm just going to quickly use that Lancome Fix It and Forget It spray just to seal all of this in, and I will be right back. Alright everyone, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And thank you so much to everyone that participated in my Instagram story helping me create this look. I love how this turned out. I loved being able to sit down and use some products that I haven't even tried before that have just been collecting dust in my collection at this point. Nonetheless, it was just a really fun experience to sit down and have you guys really just choose my makeup look for me. So if this is something that you would want to do again, please give this a thumbs up and comment down below, and feel free to follow me on Instagram for any future interactive stories like this. Overall, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you on the next video, and thank you so much again. Bye.